All right, fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and so tomorrow, realistically, like fucking 4 hours from now, we're gonna be getting, as the time recording, we're gonna be getting this Sync Pair Scout, this PokeFair Scout, which is, that's Eliot's banner, gonna be related to the Champion Stadium. That's the best way to describe it, I guess. So basically, if you've read the dev letter or seen people post about the dev letter, you will know that once you beat the Champion Stadium on normal difficulty, main story stuff, right, you will be unlocking a Sync Pair Scout for 72 hours that is going to be featuring every PokeFair up to what should be Greta, which is pretty good, right? We don't know the specifics of the banner, outside of the fact that it's going to contain, or is extremely likely to contain, I guess, all PokeFairs, ranging from at least Raihan to Larry as the latest unit. So it's very likely going to contain every PokeFair besides the new ones, all Elio, Celine, and Arvin, right? Which is great. That's fantastic. No doubt about that for sure, right? But I want to talk about like the overall value of this banner, potential rates, and what else it holds. So first of all, obviously, as stated, it's very likely to contain every PokeFair. Probably will contain Sawyer, Rachel, and Tina as well. Mostly a guess on my part there, but I think that's realistic to assume. If we apply the PokeFair thing here, we'll see that, again, if we do include Sawyer, Rachel, and Tina, we'll be taking 81 PokeFairs total. 81 PokeFairs in the game, because again, take out these three here. That's not bad. And if you want to take out, I guess, Tina, Sawyer, and Rachel, right, that's 78 PokeFairs. Quite a few. So I will say that this banner is probably not going to be great if you want to find a specific PokeFair character. But if you are missing a lot of them, this could yield quite a bit of value, frankly. But whatever. My thoughts on this banner, for a quick sum up, is that if you are a new player, this has got immense value. If you are like re-rolling and whatnot, right, you have a good chance of getting something good. But if you are an older player, probably stay away, but you also don't have to, right? You could, go for whatever you like. It's kind of like a free mix scout, somewhat, right? Or not a free, but like a non-paid mix scout, right? Something like that. Absol explained it best. Starting from tomorrow, anyone who's completed the normal difficulty Champion Stadium will have this banner activated upon logging into the game. After 72 hours, the banner will disappear. So if you do plan on summoning for this, you only have 72 hours to make that decision, starting from reset tonight. From first log on tonight. And if you are a newer player and you beat the stadium, you will have 72 hours from the moment you beat it in order to summon on this banner, and get however many rewards you get. The banner seems to go until Pity. It seems to be a banner that is infinitely repeatable within that 72-hour window. But for the first 10 go-throughs of this banner, you will be getting rewards for that. It costs the normal amount of non-paid gems, right? It costs the normal amount. And you will be getting rewards for the first 10 presents. You'll be getting a special training set, which I know Absol has posted. I can't find it right now. It's a bunch of training items. I think it's got like lucky cookies, experience books, level cap items, tomes, volumes, that type of stuff, right? It's got all of that stuff, which, that's good. It's got a lot of value. Next reward's 50,000 Sync Orbs. Doesn't need much explaining. That's really good. 25-star power-ups, another training set, another 50,000 Sync Orbs, another 25-star power-ups, another training set, 75,000 Sync Orbs, and then 30 5-star power-ups and 100 Certificates of Excellence. These are extremely good rewards for new players. One of the biggest caveats with getting into Pokemon Masters is that it needs a lot of resources for you to be able to invest into a lot of characters in order to be able to compete or be able to play a lot of quote-unquote higher-end content, right? Obviously, having sync pairs is a big aspect of it, but also training those sync pairs is tough. You need to consider getting them to like level 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 150, right? Obviously, you can invest into, lower investments to preserve resources and all of that, but still, these investments are needed to a certain extent. Sync orbs are a massive one. Getting sync orbs as a new player used to be very difficult. This makes it a whole lot easier on top of the new main story rewards. Again, leveling up as well. If you don't have the trainer lodge fully, invested in and whatnot, getting experience books can be painful. Lucky skills as well. Obviously, investing power-ups is still going to be pretty difficult even with this. You get 70 power-ups here, but that's still, only 3 X's, which is still a lot. It's still good for sure, but still, again, consider you are still limited on that resource. But that's the big thing here, is that for new players, this contains a lot of value. These sync orbs, these level cap items, all that stuff is extremely good, on top of having that chance for PokeFairs. If I were to give a recommendation to a new player, it would probably be summon on this a few times, get at least a few good characters, get your Signasuit Steven or something, like a good support like Rika or Iono or whatever, a good general type of maybe offensive unit like Ray, or, get these good characters that can be good in a versatile amount of situations or something like that, or characters that are like your favorites or whatever, and then maybe stop. I'm not saying go to a full pity on this banner, or go until you get all of the rewards, which you can do as well if you want to, right? But I am saying that this banner does hold value, at least a little bit, if you do plan on, re-rolling a little bit for, like, some characters that could give you a good start. Like, again, this does help out quite a bit. If you don't want to re-roll on a specific character, you just want to try and get a decent box started out, going again, there's look at all the list of PokeFairs here. There's tons of great options. Like, Clara's a good damage dealing unit to start out with. Larry's got a lot of good tech abilities, also some good damage as well. Poppy's extremely easy to use damage dealer. Rika's a very solid support. Chase is a great support. Ion is a great support. Penny, Elaine's a great support. Ray's a great damage dealer. Sync Accelerator. Akari's a great damage dealer. Dark Zone Setter. Tons of good characters, right? Don't think I need to reiterate that too much more, and that's the point, is that you can get a good start as a new player now by getting like a few good PokeFairs to really help out your box and help you beat stadium stages. Really just give you a good start out in the game, which is the biggest value of this banner. How does this impact older players? Older players, I'd say, just probably stay away. Save your gems for reruns, dedicated reruns. If you've got a mostly fleshed out box, just save for characters that are going to be more specific. Don't pull in this grab bag type of thing. I don't think it's that valuable, because there's a chance you get good copies of units or good dupes of units like Larry, Signasuit Steven, Rika, Iono, Chase, whatever, right? But then there's also the chance you get, Diantha, right? Or you get Anon Zekrom, Alder, 2 out of 5 Gloria, who's just ew, right? Like there's a lot of chances for you to get failure as well, which is why I recommend this to new players, because if you pull these mediocre characters, quote unquote, right, or characters that need better investment or more investment to be good, you can just re-roll the account, try again. Obviously, it's going to take some time to re-roll, but I do think it's worth it for that good start in the game, for sure, right? And even if you don't plan on re-rolling, still having at least a few of those decent enough characters is, something to work with, definitely better. And again, I just don't think that's worth it for older players who already have a more fleshed out a list of characters, a roster of characters, right, that is more well-defined already. Anyway, as for the rates for this banner, again, this is all speculative for the most part. I'm not sure what it is. This is what the ticket scout was for back in February when we got the 100 free sync pairs that also contained PokeFairs. I don't think this is going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be a 10%, it's a PokeFair scout, right? So I think it's going to be 10% 5-star rate with 2% pull rates for a PokeFair, and that is going to be split, 81 different ways. Rachel, Tina, and Sawyer are 4-stars, so they might be put in the 4-star pool. They weren't on the ticket scout, so that's pretty much just up in the air at that point. But if they are in the 4-star scout, you can take that out. 78 sync pairs, 2 divided by 78. I don't know what that is. It's like 0.03 maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know. I could pull up a calculator right now, but I don't feel like doing that. So, it's going to be, for an individual character you want, it's not going to be great, but combined 2% pull rates, that's not bad. But also consider that's a 1 out of 5 chance of getting, if you pull let's say you pull a 5-star, it's a 1 out of 5 chance of actually being a PokeFair character, right? So that's pretty iffy, to say the least. If these are split among the general pool, then it's a whole lot better. If, like, for example, if they just add them to the general pool and then split 10% rates across all of the characters, including the general pool characters, that is a lot better, because there's How many spotlights? Probably the amount of spotlights we have is probably about the same as the amount of PokeFairs at this point. 5-star, yeah, 71 general pool units, right? So you've got yourself a bit over a 50-50 to actually pull a PokeFair if they actually do split it that way. We don't know how it'll be split. We'll know when the banner actually drops, and when it does drop, I don't know if I'll make an update video or not, just depending on the value. If this video still holds up by the time the banner actually releases, I just won't do anything. I might summon on it a little bit, post those pulls or whatever. But if it does, end up changing drastically, I'll make an update video tomorrow, let people know and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to go over. I wanted to go over this banner and its overall value for a newer player and an older player as well. I do think, again, new players really should summon on this a little bit. Even if you don't get like amazing PokeFairs or whatever, getting these few rewards here are going to be helpful. The main store is already really good for now because it's giving you a ton of training items and items to upgrade your sync pairs quite a bit. If you are an older player and you looked through that list of items that you obtained other than the 15,000 gems for completing the story, you'll see there was tons of lucky skill cookies, tons of training items, level cap items, all that stuff, right? And that's really good. But being able to get even more of those is very, very nice to give a new player a really, really good jump start into unlocking a ton of sync pairs, being able to beat the Champion Stadium, being able to beat Legendary Arenas, start really trying to, focus on higher tier content, or just, being able to go for who they want instead of going for big top meta picks or anything that might actually really just help out their account. They can more so focus on kind of what they want. But of course, there's still some other aspects of trying to focus on the meta as well, even as a new player with this scout in mind, right? Overall, this is a great addition to the game for sure. Like, at the very least, it's a completely optional thing. It's not going to be baiting you. Pretty much, it's only 72 hours, right? You've only got 72 hours to really destroy your gem count. So if you hold strong for that long, you'll be good. But this obviously gives new players the option, if they want to be able to try and really go for something that they may want in this scout. If you are crazy enough, you could go for one specific character that's really been, catching your eye. Like, if you were really big into Shiny Ho-Oh, you could really spend all of your time waiting or trying to re-roll specifically for Cygnus and Morty anytime you wanted, I guess. Granted, I would just wait until a rerun and do that, but again, if you wanted to, you could. Again, I think this banner holds a ton of value just for the general chance of getting something good. Again, all those support, Cygnus Cyrus, Cygnus Steven, Doja Gloria is still good, Larry's great, Everest Scout is quite solid, Ray's amazing, Kari, tons of great characters on this banner. So yeah, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. I'll probably be doing some summons on it just for content's sake, frankly, and I could use quite a few dupes for quite a few characters, so hey, just see what I get. I don't recommend people do what I do. I'm just saying that, hey, I'm going to be doing it just because why not? So yeah, again, if you do summon, let me know your pulls were down in the comments below. If you skip, which you probably should, good luck saving, I guess, and let me know how much you were actually tempted by the banner once it actually drops, because I will be asleep when it actually drops. But yeah, again, I'll see you later.